Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So today's the first day of the event, Player Celebration Week 2. And in today's episode, what I want to do is kind of go over the event deck itself and try to do a assessment of the deck as well as go over the mechanics to see how we can best maximize the damage here. We don't have the preview video from Network, and so I'm hoping that this can be helpful for any of you who are still deciding on whether or not this is the right deck for you. Now, for the cards themselves, I do have the Master Collection. I got all of the runes and smelted all of my previous ones for that missing rune as well, so I was able to get her. Got my second Raidu from 5-star collection, and unfortunately had to go up to tier 6 for the guaranteed golden trickster. If you're a VIP, you'll be able to get the golden trickster at tier 6. I used up basically most of my gems to go up to tier 5. Didn't get him, so I had to invest a little bit, but I did see a lot of people getting the free in the free tiers, getting the golden trickster there. So I'm hoping that you got lucky in this event and got him early. So anyways, I do have the full deck to showcase here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump right into a boss right now and see how it works. And to do that, we're going to let's see, the two bosses that are the two bosses here. One casts Weaken, and the other casts Fear. So we're gonna go up against Weaken right now because this is countered by Tanu right now, and so let's go ahead and do a 3-key fight and see how much damage we're able to deal with this particular setup. Now, for this kind of team, the ultra rare card really is the MVP here, and having only one means it's going to be a little bit slow because you need the card in order to activate or to trigger the celebration tiles, and we're going to talk about the celebration tiles a little bit here. And so how can we maximize the damage with just the one? Well, let's see what we can do here. So first, let's try and make sure that we get our battle skills going. I don't have the relics here, so I'm using the previous corrupt relic. Now, at 6 stars, the ultra rare card basically will trigger more than one tile, more than one of the celebration tiles, as long as it has 150 intensity or more. And so what I'm going to do here is I want to try to basically get as many of these activated as I can, and take it. I wasn't able to take advantage of the fact that the Master Collection card has just a 1-turn cooldown, so I could actually create a lot more. And now, so even though I couldn't really activate trigger multiple of these tiles using one ultra rare card, the thing is, if I just keep building them, they do actually generate power gems as well. So it's also a good power gem sort of a creator. And so let's go ahead and drop 2 more here, and we'll go ahead and activate the ultra rare card, and then we'll activate Tanu as well, and see how much damage we're able to deal with that one shot right there. And it looks like that was about 11 billion, so not as high as I would have liked to see. Let's go ahead and activate this again. So we'll basically just keep going here until we take it out, and I want to make sure that I don't run out of time. Okay, and I think I do run out of time there. So I have to go a little bit faster, but you can sort of see this is where it starts to build up. So really, I think you need to get the intensity higher than where I started. So I kind of went a little bit early, and unfortunately, like I said, this deck does require a bit more intensity with a single ultra rare card. And so let's see what happens if we go a little bit faster and see if we can deal more damage in a single shot right now. And so what we did earlier was, I think we started at 150, and I think that's still okay. But I think probably a better thing would have been to just keep the cadence of the celebration tiles going. And what I mean by that is to just continue to activate the celebration tiles, and then one. No, I'm not. Okay, so let's keep activating it and take advantage of the fact that the Master Collection card has a 1-turn cooldown, and then we can go ahead and activate the 2 Raidu, and then just kind of keep going there, and then activate the Master Collection card again, and activate Tanu. So you can notice that with just a single Tanu, I actually have full health. Like I'm not actually losing any health because of the 5% heal it's doing for me. So that's really really great. So I'm gonna wait until I get to 300 intensity here, and I'm gonna continue to activate here. So you can sort of see this is where things start to add up, and you can really start seeing multiple power gems sort of being built here. And then if you move them out of the way, it continues to create more. And so a couple more turns of this, and we can basically activate everything. So let's go ahead and try this again. Let's do this. I think just one more turn, and we should be good to go. Actually, no, I need to do one more. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and activate all of this. And what I want to do is just wait one more turn after that so that I can get the power gems going here, because when the first drops, it's not going to do anything. Now let's go ahead and do the ultra rare first, and then we'll activate Tanu. So we'll do that and then activate Tanu. And now let's see how much damage this particular setup would deal. So we're at, okay, so a few of the cards actually got hit by weaken, unfortunately, so the damage actually did get halved there. That's the problem with running with just one event card for this particular setup. But that particular damage, I think earlier we dealt, so we're at 25 total, so about the same as the last time, but the damage was halved. And so that let's try this one more time, and hopefully we don't get hit so badly by weaken, so we can sort of see how this works. And this time we're going up against a boss that we have a strong affinity against. So let's go ahead and do this battle here. So earlier it was against a neutral affinity. This time we're going to go up against a strong one. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So again, let's just kind of go fast here. And what's nice is a single support card in this case, even though it's just at level 1, is actually doing quite well here. So if nothing else, this is a good card to keep, so that it's like having Aladdin, right? It's like having Aladdin that we used to always run, where you can get basically unlimited health. And so you get that right now just by having the support card. So let's go ahead and activate everything. And then activate Tanu as well. So that's that would be the order of cards that you'll want to activate. And then let's go ahead and make sure that we match this quickly as well, so we don't lose a lot of time. And then activate the Master Collection card. And then once, also the thing you want to keep in mind is once your power gem has been upgraded to power gem 4, you want to move it out of the way so that you could actually build more power gems, because it doesn't upgrade further than power gem 4, and so you're going to be missing out there. And so let's go ahead and drop one more Master Collection card here, activate that, activate everything, and activate Tanu, just so we can activate all of the cards. Okay, so I think that's 9 right there, and then we can activate the Master Collection card. And now let's see. So hopefully we can dispel weaken here. Good. And then so what I'm gonna do is activate this one more time, and then have the power gems be created, and then I'm going to power up the ultra rare card, and then Tanu. Okay, and so we have almost a full board of power gems there, and we're going up against a strong affinity here, so we do a lot better damage. And let's see what the output is for this particular setup. And so we have here a total of 40 billion. So we're able to also get the overkill, 100% overkill against the boss here. So with this setup, it takes a little bit of practice. It's not that easy to sort of get your head around. But when I first started playing this deck, I actually didn't have the Master Collection card yet. So I was running with two support and 2 event cards, and I wasn't able to deal as much damage because I I didn't really quite get that cadence going just yet. And so with this type of setup here, you're going to be short on one of the tiles every turn, but this should be the similar process there where you just want to keep it going every 2 turns, activate Raidu and make sure that you get the power skills going, and so kind of continue that. But really, if you're able to get the Master Collection card, this is really where you'll benefit by not worrying about matching the power gems. Really, I think the goal is get as many of those tiles as you can on the board, so that you can deal most damage, even though your ultra rare card may not be able to activate everything all at once. So besides the event deck here, I also wanted to showcase a couple of deck ideas I had, so that if you don't have those cards, what else you could do as well. So this particular deck uses 1 Raidu and 2 support cards. And we also have Quack and Marvel of Mado. Now, I don't actually have the event card from that particular deck. I just have the Master Collection, so that's what I'm using. But you could use the Primo as well for this purpose. Or if you don't have this card, if you had an older card, you could also use the Water Demigod, which is Icarus. If you have Icarus, it would work just as well. And so let's give this a try. For this particular deck, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to try up against a guild boss here. Now the guild boss actually has armor, and the armor will be dispelled by the event card. And it's not a guarantee, so I'm hoping that we can dispel armor here. And so for the relics, I'm using all the relics that I can to basically get my battle skills activated. And so for this particular setup, since I only have a single card here, one of the things you can do is you could let the power gems build up. And so by that, what I mean by that is let it build up, and then try to get one more in there as well, so that you have 2 of the event tiles going. And then once you build up a couple of those power gems, then what you can do is you can then use Cluck to I forgot to activate that. You can use Cluck to get all of them close together, and then you could use Mado to destroy the gems, do a power gem match, and then activate everything. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and activate Mado first, then we're going to activate Cluck, and then fill up the rest of the board using Tanu, and let's see how much damage we're able to deal here. This is a single key right now against the guild boss, and we're able to deal a couple of 100 million damage on a single key against a level 80A. So, at some point you're going to have to do 3 keys, but it's not too bad for a 1 key hit right here. Now, the second deck I wanted to show is a deck where if you don't have anything else from the event card, but you decided to use the tickets, the celebration tickets for the 3 cards that are from the legacy deck. So how can you use this with a support card? Well, let's give it a try. So I actually had older relics for the ancient relic as well. Now you could buy additional ones from the event from the legacy deck as well, but it can get pretty expensive because the cost will go up. So I didn't get one. This was one I have from before. So let's go ahead and try this out again against Guild Boss and see how this works. So this particular setup, unfortunately, does not counter armor. And so that is something to consider, that maybe at high enough boss level, the damage will be nullified. So that's something to keep in mind, but I just wanted to sort of show you how you can play this deck as a whole. So the way that this particular deck, the legacy deck, works is you have to make sure that you activate Sapphiron before you activate Andaria, and then you activate Andaria before you activate Cerulean. And what I want to try and do is actually build up the intensity a little bit as well. So the higher the intensity, the more power gems Cerulean will be able to upgrade, and also more light water gems that you'll actually create. But here's the thing, I don't have a lot of health right now, so I'm going to activate everything at this turn. So let's go ahead and do this. Actually, activate Sapphiron first. It gives you 1 additional turn because of a delay, so you can actually take advantage of that to give you that a little bit more intensity. And so you delay the boss, and actually at this point we're going to go ahead and use Andaria's skill and then Cerulean, and then do do the Tanu battle skills as well. And let's see how much damage we're able to deal here. So not quite as high. It's about close to 100 million with that particular setup with a single key, right? So it's because the cards are weaker, right? So the power is a little bit weaker, and it's and also level 1. So you can see that at level 1 it just has 1.6 thousand, whereas the support card that has been even weakened even more has 1.3. So overall this deck is a little weaker without any upgrade, but this is how you play that particular deck. Then finally, if you have Raidu, nothing else, but you do have Barbie, the Summertime Aphrodite. This is actually a card that could be successful against regular boss. So let's go ahead and try this against the Daydreamer Sulu. And let's use this deck with 3 keys, and let's see how much damage we're able to deal here. So this is a deck that the other deck that I showed is also capable of taking out solo bosses if you're using 3 key. So just something to try out and see how it works out for you. Very similar concept here. You do want to make sure that you activate Raidu. It's really the celebration tile is really interesting in that you're basically putting a placeholder for a power gem creator, and you're just kind of letting it go, and you don't have to really worry about whether you match it or not. The whole point here is let it build up, and let it build up to either power gem 4, or you can create more power gems that way. And then Summertime Aphrodite will actually create multiple power gems as well. So let's go ahead and activate her actually right now. And you can see there's already about half of the board is full with power gems. And so now let's go ahead and do a swap and see how much damage we're able to deal here with 3 keys against the boss. And it looks like it's over 2 billion right there. So we're able to deal easily over 2 billion with that particular setup. And we're at 2.3. Didn't quite get the 100% overkill, but at level 300, you're not really gonna. Once you reach 300, it's not really that big of a deal. And so those are the sort of the few decks that I have in mind. One of the things that I didn't get a chance to talk about is Fear. So notice I didn't actually go up against Fear, and that's because the only card in the event deck that actually will dispel Fear is the Golden Trickster. And so I think to go up against and the thing is, Fear is really difficult to deal with if you get hit by it. And so I think the best thing actually would be to bring in a Warden. And so what I'm going to show you here is a counter skill for Fear, at least. And we'll try and see if I have any Wardens here, but I don't have a lot of Wardens that actually dispel Fear. I have the Bone Collector, and I have, we can just go ahead and change this to Warden. So I have the Bone Collector, Urzel, Crow's Prototype, and Jubble the Dark. Even at 4 stars, you have a pretty good chance of dispelling, even though it's not 100%. 6 stars will be an absolute guarantee. And so I would actually just recommend putting in, a commander, sort of a Warden that would dispel Fear. And in this case, I actually would have probably, I would replace either a Raidu or the support card, although the support card gives me heal, so I'm probably going to keep it in there. So I would sacrifice one of the Raidus for a Fear dispelling Warden. That is the best. So that in my opinion, that's the best way to be able to deal damage to those bosses, instead of depending on the ultra rare card to dispel Fear or a non-Warden card. So hopefully this helps. Obviously, if you put in a Warden here, it's going to be reduced in terms of damage. But overall, I think that this deck is pretty interesting. Yeah, if played I think if you play it right, you can deal pretty good damage. But the thing is, it's not as simple. It's a little bit complicated. It does require some thinking. But for me at least, that's the fun of it. It's a new mechanic. It does require me to think a little bit, and it's something that takes experimentation. It's not quite as overpowered as all the other cards out there, but it seems to be okay for me. So anyways, that's all for this episode. Hope that this has been helpful, and please let me know your thoughts and what teams you're using and what ideas you have, and let me know if there's something that I could do differently as well to get more out of this deck. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll wait until the relic comes out tomorrow, and then we will see what changes that has to the deck, and we will have another follow-up after that. So thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.